of Yellowbrickroad, which is screening tonight. I believe it's the Atlanta premiere of Yellowbrickroad. So tell us, on the level of story, tell us what this thing is about.
Well, on the level of story, it all begins with a legend. The legend is that in the year of 1939, an entire town in New Hampshire, called Fryer, New Hampshire, disappeared mysteriously without warning. They were discovered having left all of their materials behind. One man who is personified here, Teddy Barnes is the character's name. He cannot let his fascination with the legend ever go. And when finally the coordinates to the trailhead are declassified and revealed, he organizes a group to walk the same path that the town disappeared up into the forest. And that's how the story begins.
But I couldn't help thinking as I was watching this that it's not really about a bunch of people in the woods. Is there an allegorical level that this thing works on?
There's a lot that's going on. I think the main thing it concerns is the dangers of ambition, what happens when ambition can be taken too far. How we all have the fantasy of just saying screw it and walking off into the woods by ourselves. That's actually a pretty scary idea, and especially scary that we all share it. And so we were kind of investigating those themes.
Every independent production has a story, like how exactly this movie came to be. So you want to tell us about that?
We were good enough to know Clark and Cassidy as friends, and we happened to have these two roles, and then we gave them the script,
yeah, these guys worked on the script for about 2 years before I ever saw it, and Clark and I are actually brother and sister, and there's a brother-sister role in it, and roles in it, and we thought, what a great opportunity to be able to work together, since we never really have, both being actors. And then the opportunity to play a bigger role and executive produce came up as well, which was a learning experience and something that I found super rewarding as a first time for me. And then...
and then I rounded it out. Yeah, it was just a great way. We've all been a family and have worked together for years and years anyway, that this was kind of the biggest project that we'd had put together to date. It was a great way to culminate all the years of theatrical work and stage work and music and everything else we'd ever done into one project, and I think it shows on screen in every level of it.
Speaking of those years of theatrical work and other, this is not a first movie at all, a first piece of work for any of you. Can you tell us what you've done in the past?
I came to the party late, but Clark was running a theater company called the Sight Unseen Theater Group. That was with Andy Mitten, who was the co-writer, co-director, who's not sitting here right now. And that is really our core background, is this theatrical background.
So yeah, it's an important place where we all kind of started, and Andy and I started about 7 or 8 years ago. And that's how we met Michael, and that's how, we worked with Cass. She produced stuff there, she acted and stuff there. So we all did things there, and then to go on, practice there, and then go on and hopefully do a project that speaks to us and we can really shine, and hopefully does well at places like Atlanta and whatnot. So I think Jesse's right. A big seed of it was Sight Unseen in LA.
And I want to add that me and Andy were first-time filmmakers, and that's why it was really helpful to have Cassidy, who was coming off of Smallville, who's still on Smallville, who was awesome on Smallville. She was able to lend the professionalism that really helped our first week of shooting and accelerated our learning curve so much.
Being able to share new things that I had learned was really great. It was a good opportunity for me to do that.
You shot this almost entirely in the woods. Where did you shoot it, and what was it like to sort of be out there? Did you come back from civilization at night, or were you out there intense the whole production?
We shot it in northern New Hampshire, up in a town called Pittsburgh. It's just miles from the Canadian border. And in terms of civilization, no, there was none. There was no cell phone. There was barely any internet. And we were pretty much completely immersed. We were out in the woods during the day, and we had, thankfully, cabins at Lopstick. We had great places to sleep at night, when we got to sleep.
Yeah, it was definitely a plus to immerse ourselves in what we were doing and not have distractions to sort of keep us away. We were locked in, and that in a lot of ways I think helps.
I think this is the only movie of the whole festival that I thought, wow, I'd really like to talk to the sound guy. Can you talk about the role of sound in the movie?
Andy did the core design, and then we took it to Soundtracks in New York and gave it the polish, and got a very reasonable rate because we did the bulk of the work ahead of time. Yeah, it's a crucial element. It is something that you can't really talk too much about without giving stuff away, but all I would say is if you ever get a chance to watch this movie, watch it with the volume all the way up because it'll make it better.
Well, thanks for visiting with us before your movie screens tonight. I know it'll have a great response, and so I thank you for your time, and best of luck.